Tonight we have a special guest, and I am pleased to introduce Lieutenant General Lord Stephen BADEN-POWELL.
Thank you very much indeed for that warm and enthusiastic greeting. It tells me what I always know, and that is that all of you realize that the most important thing about scouting, which has been a part of scouting from the very beginning, is that a scout is a friend and a brother to every other scout. I brought along my walking staff this evening. It's a very handy thing. Every scout should have one. You could sell them in your trading post. They would be a great moneymaker. I'm seldom wrong about these things. Now I want all of you to have healthy blood and good strong lungs. So stand up right where you are and take a good deep breath and raise your hand while you do it all together now. And release. Oh, and one more time. And one more time. Sit down now. Don't you all feel much better? Would you hold my staff while I talk? I brought along a few notes to remind me what I want to talk to you about. I'm not as young as I used to be. Though I'm very much younger than that chap in the back. Yes, you. When I was a young man, I wrote a book about scouting for the military. And the higher-ups approved of it and sent me off to South Africa. And there was a bit of a dust-up between us and the Boers at the time. They told me that my job was to divert as many of the Boers from the front lines as possible. To this end, I occupied the town of Mafeking and dared the Boers to attack. We were badly outnumbered. And so I recruited a troop of boys to serve as messengers, to help out in hospitals and act as guards and such. I called them the Mafeking Cadet Corps. Now I call them the 1st Boy Scouts. While I was at Mafeking, we were quite busy stringing barbed wire from post to post. This was to protect us against the Boer cavalry. As luck would have it, we ran out of the stuff. Well, this left us in somewhat of a pickle. But I noticed, and I have always had very keen eyesight, that as I studied the Boer lines from a distance, I couldn't actually see the barbed wire that they were stringing. I couldn't see it at all. And so I instructed our men to keep putting up posts and then to string imaginary barbed wire between them. To complete the deception, I had the men crawling over and under the imaginary barbed wire that they had strung. We had a jolly good laugh about it and stayed safe at the same time. I'll tell you another story. It won't take long. I used to spy on enemy forts and defenses disguised as a butterfly hunter. Now that was jolly exciting. Whenever I met an enemy soldier, I would show him my sketchbook and ask if he had seen such and such a butterfly in the area as I was keen to draw him. Well, what he didn't notice was the sketches in my sketchbook contained maps of their very own forts and defenses encoded right on the butterflies. Now I have here some of those very drawings, and I want all of the boys in the audience to have one. So where is Michelle? Is Michelle here? Gone. You've let me down. You've already got it. Wonderful. Thank you, dear. Lovely person. Those times are happily behind us now. In fact, at a railway station in Algeria, we found a motor car waiting for us. The driver, oh, he was a jolly chap, and he set to work to carry all of our luggage by himself. We soon found out by the merest chance that he had come from the Transvaal. That's Boer country, for those of you who don't know. But here is the important thing. He had learnt his energetic helpfulness and courtesy through having been a Boy Scout in Johannesburg. Now here's a cracking bit of information. The opportunity lies before us, where in place of selfishness and hostility, we can enthuse goodwill and peace as the spirit in the coming generation. We in the great Scout movement can prove by example that such a thing is possible. It has been recorded that Buddha has said, there is only one way of driving out hate, and that is by bringing in love. I have always tried to carry out the Scout law and the Scout oath in all that I do. And if you do that too, you'll make a very successful life of it and have a very happy time. So, I would ask you now to repeat to yourselves, with me, the Scout oath. Not like a parrot, but thinking of the meaning of every word as you say it. Now stand up and make the Scout sign and whisper along with me. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my King, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now, let us go forth from here and develop among ourselves and our boys a comradeship of peace and happiness and goodwill among men. So long now, and good luck to you all.